How to install a garbage disposal in a kitchen sink for homeowners' use. One, this rough-in kit should be installed. It's necessary to attach the garbage disposal to this. Often these have already been installed, and if they're in good working condition and not leaking, it's okay to leave it if one chooses, as long as it's not leaking. If it were leaking, it would the plumber's putty, or it may be loose. But anyway, assuming this is in, one takes the garbage disposal with this haphazard drawing, and assuming this would be the top of the disposal, this is the bottom where things are ground up. There is an incoming wire that feeds. There's a little square or rectangular metal door, two screws. Remove those. Two wires out. Connect the hot and the neutral. Wire nut those. Put those in. I would suggest a number 12 wire with a 20 amp breaker. However, it is arguable that one could use a 14. My suggestion is a number 12 with a 20 amp breaker. So once underneath the cabinet, this with this fixed, looking up from, if your head was underneath the cabinet and you were looking up, this would be the bottom. So take this disposal, push this up here, and one will notice this is lower than this. This is lower. There's one, two, three. Connect the top of this to here and make sure it's lined up on both sides. They give you a tool with the disposal kit, and it's just a little metal piece that will go in a hole, and one will take and rotate this with that in the hole, with this lined up and this lined up. Rotate it. Forewarning, easier said than done. Hence, one has the electrical hooked up, and by all means, be sure all power is off, switch is off. Suggestion, turn the breaker off as well as the switch before you attempt any project. So once lined up, tool in the hole, one can use a Phillips head screwdriver, heavier gauge than this. It doesn't have to be very heavy, but it has to be able to fit inside of the hole. It's very obvious when one does it. So line this up, and have it lined, and rotate it. Rotate this configuration here. It should move. Then one will feel it tighten from this high point down to the lower point in the disposal. And once it's in, one can grab both sides and actually physically twist it a smidgen. There is a little bit of play, but this needs to be tightened up very tight. Not extremely tight. One will feel it. It's just enough to where this goes from the high point to the low. Once at the low, it will be tight on both sides. So just be certain that both sides are lined up. And again, just twist or rotate. And when one rotates this top part on the disposal, it could, with it connected here, it should tighten the closer it gets to this side, and likewise on the other side.